What is up, everybody, and welcome back to 2 Times the Grind, and welcome to episode 48. Damn, we're approaching
we're getting up there.
The 50 mark soon. That is exciting. I can't wait to hit 50, actually.
Why?
I don't know, I just think it's an achievement.
Fair.
It's like a clean 5-0, halfway to 100.
True.
You know, that's like is it half a century? Is the century 100 years or is the century 10? God,
you got me on this
exposing
one,
myself now.
Yeah.
Exposing myself to not having any kind of knowledge of anything. But hello, everyone.
Today's not the day to know that. I would have known that any other day. I'm feeling tired today.
Yeah, me too, actually. I feel tired. Does anyone else feel a bit tired today? Anyone else?
It's been a week.
I feel tired every single day of my life. Just be like that. You know what I mean? Just be like that. I hope everyone's had a wonderful week and getting excited about next week, because obviously next week is the start of the major. Mm-hmm. Well, it is for us anyway. It is technically, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, it is next weekend. Yeah, so obviously we fly on Wednesday. Really excited about it. Excited to get talking about pools and kind of where we're at and what we're thinking about, and kind of just gauging like what you guys are also thinking, because if you have any opinions or questions about what we talk about today, then please let us know so that we can also like continue that conversation into next week right before you guys watch the major, because we'll get that filmed before we leave. But before we get into everything, as per usual, we're drinking coffee today. And today, our bag is very kindly gifted by a very, very good friend of ours called Mike. Mike is just, I love Mike. Mike is the best. He is one of the most fascinating people I've ever had the pleasure of talking to and being friends with. He's an absolute homie. Where does Mike live? He lives far away, doesn't he? Really far from us.
Yeah,
how far is it?
He lives in Maryland.
Maryland, that's it. 3 and a bit hours?
Yeah.
3 and a bit hours away. Yeah. And he has come over our house and come to visit us quite a few times now. And the effort to come and visit family and be just like around and present is pretty amazing. So we really appreciate Mike when he comes to visit.
Absolutely.
And especially when he brings us bags of coffee. And he has brought us this time around Cool Beans. This is the make. It's a gourmet coffee and it's French toast flavored. Which is really exciting. It's actually from New Jersey.
It's at the island.
Yeah,
you got from
the island.
Yes,
and the smell right now is so strong. Yeah, it is a very strong smell of French toast. The flavoring of it. I don't know actually how they flavor coffee. I'd actually be quite interested to know. Not the notes. I know how notes work.
Yeah.
But the actual like flavoring of like a flavored coffee of like French toast, because it is very, very like intense. It smells very sweet. You're already sipping yours. What are you thinking so far?
It's sweet.
It's sweet?
Oh, yeah, it is.
I want to try it.
You gonna have a sip?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, it is sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
coffee creamer in it too, which is going to make it.
I taste maple syrup.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. There's the same coffee creamer we had last week is in this cup as well, so it's going to be a little bit sweeter. Obviously, it's French toast flavor.
Not too much coffee creamer though.
No.
Well, when we try coffees,
I put a splash in.
Yeah, I only put a splash. Sometimes I'll have it black as well.
Yeah.
You guys know that. I quite like it actually. It's intense.
Me too.
But I quite like it.
Yeah.
I quite like that. Well, I'll let you know our full thoughts after.
Yeah, I'll give the thoughts later on.
We'll give full thoughts afterwards. But Mike, thank you so much. We love you very, very much. And he's also a avid listener of the podcast.
Coming to Worlds.
And he's coming to Worlds.
Yep. Making the trip.
How exciting is that? My family are coming. Your family are coming. Oh, I'm excited.
A whole squad.
I'm excited about Worlds. Worlds is going to be litty. It's going to be good. I'm excited about it. Yeah, litty. Why does it sound inappropriate when I say it? Like in my accent. It doesn't?
No.
It doesn't sound inappropriate?
It just sounds like we're
hard
old
teas.
saying. Say it again.
Litty. Do you know what I mean? Well, no.
It doesn't, but like I feel like you're like
overthinking it.
Yeah, the way you're saying it now is like making me feel like you're trying to make it sound.
I'm not trying to convince you that the way I say it is inappropriate.
Like the way you just said that was like you looked at me when you said it as if like this is wrong. Like,
this is not okay. But yeah, we're going to talk about pools. We're going to talk about some of the teams that we left out last week as well when we were talking and breaking down what happened at Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about roster changes as well. There's a couple of little switches that have been happening. Nothing too crazy. No like roster mania, so to speak. Just a couple of little changes.
Events are too close together.
Yeah, way too close together, I think, to make changes. And if anything, I think if you're making a change at this point in time, all it tells me is that it had to happen. They feel like it had to happen.
Like to have a shot at winning, you felt like
that was the only way.
I think anybody that felt like we have a chance, I think it'd be too risky to make a change.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think at this point in time, and it's not just about the closeness of the event between Salt Lake City and this one. It's even just where we're at in the roadmap of the season. It's really hard to have consistency with a team that you're basically restarting with again, 2 events out of a huge one. So I was honestly thinking like Salt Lake City would be the end of major changes. I mean, again, nothing major has happened. It's just more like very small, tiny little swaps. But again, I still think that's pretty, I don't know, prevalent to to teams.
Absolutely.
And like I said, it kind of just tells me that they feel like it was enough of a risk to reward potential to do it.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about right now, G1 has changed. Native White has also changed. We've seen a direct swap there with Bohm and Suspector. And it's quite funny because on the broadcast at Salt Lake City, I actually took a bit of time to talk about Suspector, obviously, with my talent team and analysts. And, you know, really our storyline for him coming into this was, I hope he finds a home.
Yeah.
And I hope he is the missing piece for a team, but I hope that the team is a missing piece for him. Because really he is like a serial swapper. Yeah, he is a serial roster swapper.
Not always his doing, but
not always his doing.
When
but
you say he's just landing on other teams.
It just is what's happened to him this season. He has been that guy that has been picked up almost every time there has been some type of roster movement. It's always been he's moving. So yeah, he is a serial roster swap, and it's not necessarily down to him all the time, but we haven't seen him consistently land on a team. He hasn't been on like a team for a good
Has he swapped after every event?
I don't know if it's after every single event, but it's majority.
G1 to Sen to...
Wasn't there one before that as well? Before G1?
No, well, he started with G1 this season. At Charlotte, he was on G1. Then he went to Sen, right? For DreamHack?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. He was with Sen.
No, he did. Yeah, No.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't. Didn't G1 stay the same?
No, he was with Sen. Yeah. He 100% was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He was with Sen.
No, he definitely was.
Yeah, because it was Collect, right? Wasn't it? Collect that swapped with him.
This is a slippery slope.
I'm almost certain he was on Sentinels.
No, he was. I just don't know if it was for... No, you're right. Sorry. Because Arlington was Sen's current team. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it was him on Sen. And then back from Sen, he went to Complexity.
Arlington, he played on an open team.
Yeah, okay,
I don't remember their name. It was with like Carmea, I think. Carmea
it was.
And a couple of 2 other guys.
Yeah.
And then G1
for
SLC.
And then now Native White.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been every single... He's a swapper. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
God,
it's not, but it's like, when we're saying that, it's not
No,
him,
I'm not.
it's
Yeah,
just,
but he is a
just,
serial swapper. It just is what's happening. It just is, it's the facts.
Yeah.
And again, like, let's just put this out here, right? Okay. Because I know you worry sometimes.
Yeah.
Anything that we say on here is not to damage a player. Like, we're not roasting players. We're just discussing the facts and figures and what is happening and giving our opinion on it. And our opinion's never going to be a nasty opinion. If we do have a nasty opinion, I'm keeping it to myself. Like, I'm not going to say something awful. I might give a hot take or two every now and then, but it's not going to, it's never going to be something that's personal or nasty about someone. My hot takes, man. Sometimes they be spicy. But Yeah, he's a serial swapper.
Yeah.
And that might not be down to him. Well, that might be down to him. Who knows?
No, that's what I was saying though. Is like the reason why I'm clarifying it, it's not because I know you're not saying it as in something, as in a nasty way. I obviously know that, but it's for people watching who don't necessarily, or listening, who don't necessarily know. Like, it's not like he is deciding after every tournament to go and change these you know what I mean? Like G1 he was replaced, like, you know, G1 he was replaced, Sen just kind of disbanded. Like,
no, I totally
that's
feel
all.
you. Yeah.
Because I feel like when we say stuff like this, I think people can take it like really literal, and they don't actually, like I said, they don't necessarily know the ins and outs, and like they have this thought about said player because of something that we said without understanding the context. That's all. Anyway,
I understand. I understand, but no.
Yeah.
It's not.
I know what you mean when you say that.
Yeah, he's a serial swapper.
Exactly.
And it also sounds good. So you got to give me that. I'm a broadcaster. But it's facts.
Serial swapper.
Serial swapper, yeah. He's a swapping. all the time. It's every event.
True.
Well, I'm rooting for him. If he listens back to a broadcast, I want him to find a home. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, I think he's
a great player, and he just needs to find his place, and that and that's it, really. Yeah. You know, and I think
it's not a skill thing.
I would advise to not swap again before Worlds.
I don't think you can swap again.
I don't think you can, right? Roster locks and stuff.
You qualify.
Yeah, so you can't. But this is it.
Yeah.
So if anything, this is one of the most, not another fly. God damn it. Not again.
I had you in shambles that episode.
I hate that fly. That fly is annoying. He's gone. R.I.P. He's gone. This is a new guy. He's moved in. I think even regardless of the qualification and not being able to swap again, then there's even bigger weight to this change, because this is it. Like, that was the decision you have to make. So it's actually even bigger. Yeah. What do you think of it then, the change? What are you making of it? So let's talk about him first. Native White, Mikwin, Collect, Suspector, and then Tapping.
They got a roster. I mean, they got great individual players. I mean, everyone knows how good Collect and Tapping Buttons have been. Mikwin's had a great year. Obviously, it's his first year back. Yeah. He had a little bit of an injury, but I think he's said he's feeling pretty good again. So, you know, I'm sure he's been on the grind.
Who's that?
Mikwin.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. He had, with his wrist.
Right.
I don't want to say. It's a certain type of arthritis, I think.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, or carpal tunnel.
Oh, I hate that.
I think he said he's doing a lot better though. Okay. He's like seeing a physio about it. Yeah, so they got a lot of individual talent. I think it's a great. I think it's obviously. I think I always say this with roster changes. I feel like there's a lot of talent in the game. Yeah, it's just how infinite it is. You know, certainly picked up another great individual player. Just, you know, like always, just got to see how people piece it together. I don't really know either of them too well. Like, between Aiden being Suspector and Bohm, I don't know either of them like super well. I've never teamed with them before, so I can't like. Sometimes I know people well enough to be like, oh, that'll be a good fit. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then like other times I'm like, I just have no idea. But talent wise, they're great. You know, just see how the team gels.
I feel like, haven't we seen Collect and Suspector team before?
They teamed on
Kratos.
Sen.
They teamed on Sen, but didn't they also team back with like Kratos?
I have no idea. I don't think. I'm not sure.
In
I'm not
year
sure.
One?
I don't think Collect ever teamed with Kratos. He might have, but he was on. Collect was on SSG for a good period of time. You know, and then Suspector was on XSET with Kratos for a little bit.
No,
so I don't think they.
They don't think they ever teamed.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know why I feel like they had, but maybe that is with Sen. Because of Sen?
Well, they definitely have in Sen, but...
Yeah. Because at first with Sen, I thought they were the swap for each other. So I don't know. I thought that they had...
Did they?
I don't think that they did team on Sen. I thought that they were the swap.
Oh, these changes.
Do you remember when we talked about the roster... What did we call it?
They replaced...
Rotation? No, what did we call it? The roster...
Yeah, wait. Oh, no. You know what? Yeah,
do you remember? Because it was him and then Collect came out and he came in.
They didn't team.
No, they haven't teamed together on Sen.
Right. Yep.
But I don't know why I feel like they have before. I feel like I've seen them before. I have a distinct memory of Live Fire. I don't know why.
Might have been 8 or something.
I have a distinct memory of Live Fire and them playing together.
I don't know.
And like almost on a broadcast, almost commenting about the firepower that they have.
If you are listening,
unless it was suppressed with Collect, I can't remember.
Suppress.
Because Suppress and Suspect are very similar names, and it's just crazy.
I said Suppress accidentally when I was talking about Native White, didn't I?
Did you?
You didn't hear me?
I didn't even pick up on it, no.
You didn't hear me upstairs. We were talking about it.
Oh, upstairs, was it? Okay.
I said Suppress, and I said, I mean Suspector.
Oh, well, if you correct yourself, that was right out the window for me.
Exactly. So. Listen, if you are listening and you know what has happened in Halo better than us.
This is the thing, right? It feels, I always think to myself, oh God, people are going to be like, damn, they know nothing. It's just because it's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of roster changes. There's a lot of moving parts. And honestly, like I'd have to have a list of the history.
We're also going back, like in our memory, like when we're thinking of this, we're also going back to last year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I know. I'm trying to think about last year. It's not this year I'm thinking about.
No.
I'm thinking about something last year, maybe.
And then now I'm like, oh, well, it wasn't this year.
Maybe it was on Space Station Gaming.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Ace, Collect... Not
Tylenol.
Suspector and Suspector. No,
I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I don't think so. You're just like it sounds good, so you're like, yeah, like he's a good player, and you're like, it's they're a partnered team, so you're like, he could. I mean, he could. I don't know.
I just feel like they had team, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll know by tonight though, because I'll tell you what. Away from this, I'm going to be looking up straight away. Yeah. Because if they have, I'll be mentioning it on the broadcast. So
when you do your prep.
Yep. And which I have a meeting today.
You're doing the thing with your bud again.
Sorry. It's hard. I can't help it.
Why don't you have two earbuds in?
Huh?
Why don't you have both of them?
Just like to be keyed in with my surroundings. Like to know what's going on at all times.
All right. Fair enough.
You know?
All right.
The dogs need me.
You would hear them.
No, I might not. I might not.
You're not going to not hear them because you're wearing earbuds. That's not true at all.
Anyway. So yeah, that's obviously Native White. Mm-hmm. And then G1 is a direct swap with Suspector and Bone.
Yep.
And then Bone coming in again. I honestly feel like this kid can't catch a break finding a home either. He's being kind of pulled around all over the place. But do you think for him that's a good thing? Because it kind of he gets to try out a few different spots and see, his potential and where he feels most comfortable? Or
I think I can't think of where Bone was at the start of the year, but then obviously with Native Red picking him up, they get top 4. They played again at another event. I mean, it's one of those things where like it's really unfortunate because he's kind of in that swap period where he's going back and forth to different teams, but overall, I think he's had a great year. The top 4 finish. He's been on Native Red, Native White. I mean, G1. These are like established teams with really good rosters. I think, even though it sucks, like making changes and having to get used to new environments, I think that he's still having the opportunity to team with some really, really great players. So definitely sucks. You always want to find a home, but I still think that there are some great opportunities for him.
Yeah. Do you think he is a better fit than Suspector is in terms of firepower and like?
I feel like they're just two really great individual players. I do think Suspector probably plays around power weapons a little bit more, I feel like, than Bohm does. Like I'm trying to picture their play styles and how they play, and I feel like Bohm is someone who like allows teammates to thrive a little bit more. And Suspector is someone who like maybe gets those power weapons a little bit more often, aka like higher KDs a little bit more often. But that's not knocking or anything like that to either one of them. It's just different style of play. So firepower wise, I think it's kind of the same, but firepower wise, I think it's kind of the same, but you don't know until you see it.
You never know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting for sure, especially knowing that that's the team they have to go to Worlds with. So we'll see how much
we think. I don't think you can make a roster change. That wouldn't make sense.
I don't think you can either. Anyway, let's talk about the pools. So, Pool A, we have Space Station, Cloud9, Na'Vi, and the open bracket team. So I'm just like mid-burp. This is what happens when you drink coffee on a podcast and try and talk for an hour. Pool B, Sentinels, Complexity, The Last Dance, and obviously open bracket. FaZe Clan, Native Red, No Org in Pool C. I can do that if I want to do it. It's okay.
It picks up in my ears.
Well, you smashing the table is also picking up in my ears. Touche?
That's fair, but one is unintentional.
And then Pool D, Optic Gaming, Quadrant, Mind Freak, and an open bracket team. So what are you feeling about these pools? Because you're in them.
Where's our pool again?
Damn, you don't know who your pool is?
I do. I'm thinking of every team.
Well, here's a
Native
test.
Red's in our pool.
Where's your pool?
C.
Yes. Who else is in your pool?
I know Native Red's in it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other ones. I can't think of the other ones. That's why I was asking.
Maybe it's because it's not an org.
That's why. Are they literally called No Org?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Justin's team?
I think so, probably. I mean, it's got to be, right? Because the Last Dance is a EU team.
EU team.
So is Navi. And then Mind Freak, again, is a ANZ team. Right? Is Mind Freak ANZ?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So No Org must be Justin's team.
Yeah.
And because they've qualified.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I thought so.
Which wouldn't be surprised if
I'm going
next
golfing
week
with
they're
them tomorrow.
Bittersweet.
I gotta go. No, Bittersweet has a team though.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm going golf with them tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to talk some trash to him.
What about who's called No Org?
No, not. Well, you think I'm a terrible person?
I was gonna
No,
say,
I'm not. No,
I was like,
what the heck?
whoa.
No, I'm like, because
I was
they're
like,
in our pool.
What kind of tactics
No,
are you having?
no, what the hell? No, I meant because they're in our pool.
Right. Well, go for it. What kind of trash
Who's
talk?
the other team?
What kind of trash talk are we going to talk? There is not another team.
It's only 3 teams?
Yeah, because there's an open bracket team coming in.
Duh. I'm stupid.
God
Sorry.
damn it. Get with it, man.
I told you I'm not with it today. I told you. Did I not say that when I woke up? I said yesterday to today. Don't do that. This freaking earbud.
Bonk. Hey, I need to fiddle with something. It's difficult. Okay?
All right.
Need a fidget spinner.
I just keep hearing pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, well.
Which means you hear it too, and you know exactly
They
my
love
pain.
it. Come
no,
on,
they
they
don't.
love
No,
it.
they don't. No, yeah, pool play is gonna be fun. I love having Native Red in our pool. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a challenge. Even honestly, Jay's team too. They're
a good team.
Yeah, they're a really good team, and I think they're only gonna be getting better and better. I think we probably have the hardest pool. Is that fair to say? Let me say it one more time.
No. Optic has Quadrant in their pool.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that is.
That is like a joke.
So this, no offense to Mind Freak, but I feel like we have the most difficult 3 teams. Is that fair to say? Like Quadrant has obviously gotten,
yes.
Quadrant's obviously gotten.
I would say, yeah. And Complexity is pretty good.
Well, I mean, every team's pretty good, but.
Yeah, I would probably say.
Would you say that? Native Red, because Native Red.
Yeah, I would probably say that. For me, I just think that
Quadrant Optic matchup in particular.
Like so.
Yeah, but I feel that way about us and Native Red.
I don't feel the same way.
I do.
I feel like Quadrant better than Native Red.
I think that like every team is until they aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just
like difficulty wise playing. I don't. It just all feels like a really. It
battle.
Just feels like a battle. Exactly. Like when I play against Quadrant, I play against Native
you
Red.
play against them.
Yeah. I get what you're saying because of obviously Quadrant's placements this year.
It's not just the placements for me. The placements are impressive.
No,
it's
but
not
the matches,
just the placements.
and the people that they've beaten.
It's
and
who they have to match up against. For me.
I know.
And Quadrant have put up consistent fights, if not beaten some of our top teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's Native Red struggle at that kind of barrier. They haven't quite got across that barrier this season fully.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, often.
Yeah. I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got like Bailey hair stuck in my mouth.
Little dog hair. What does your coffee say? Your mug.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you're probably wondering why we have random mugs today. We thought we'd show you a little bit of our personality because we actually do have a lot of mugs. Mine says, "This totally has dog hair in it." Cheers. And PJ's is so cute.
I'm a gamer uncle, like a normal uncle, except much cooler.
You're so cool.
Facts.
Both just spitting facts.
I think you meant on the mic. I was like...
Both just spitting on the mic. You might want to put that down a little bit. Yeah, I've got to say I feel like Quadrant is...
I feel like every pool is always a challenge.
Yeah.
You know that? I feel like every pool...
I don't think this one is as nuts. I don't know why. It doesn't feel as crazy to me. And do you know why I think that is?
Why?
I think it's because Sentinels placed really well last event. And I think because they are...
There's no like pool of death.
No. And I think it's because it's averaged out slightly.
Yeah.
Apart from, I would say, Pool D. I think Pool D is... Mind Freak aside, and that's no disrespect. I just think that the quadrant optic game is always going to be like a bloodbath. I think it's always going to be one where people go, oh my God. And I think optic fans are going to be going, not again. Yeah. Not again.
Just right over and over again.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. It just doesn't feel as like crazy to me this time around.
I think it's just because I just think it's because seeds have
well balanced.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's just because seeds have been. I don't want to say this in a negative way. The seeding has always been a bit flip-floppy. You don't need to comment on this. The seeding has always been a bit flip-floppy with HCS because they've done it so many different ways. Sometimes it's online results are the end-all, be-all, and that's how we get our pools, and that makes it so that one side is stacked and the other isn't. One tournament we got quadrant could win the event and this best seed they can get is still 9th, aka they get put into pool A at Arlington. They got they end up getting top 6, but they get put into pool A with us at Arlington, with Sen, who also was in our pool, but they had a bad seeding because they had a poor performance at the DreamHack event. Then after Arlington, like, quadrant's now the 4 seed because for some reason their seed now gets picked up. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's why it's been very up and down, up and down. This one does feel much more balanced. It feels like there is a high seed with, you know, I say like a high seed is in like your SSG, and then like SSG is now playing Cloud9, who's obviously a lower seeded team. Yeah, and it feels that way across every pool. Still going to be really challenging, but obviously now you have a little bit. And like you said, I'd say except for our match, let me make sure I'm not wrong here. Except for our match with Native Red, I feel like obviously we're a little bit, but again, it's supposed to be that way because we're pool C and pool D. Pool C and pool D are supposed to be a little bit of a harder matchup because you're closer in seed. Does that make sense? Like correct, pool A and pool B are always supposed to be your higher seed is your higher seed.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, think about it. One plays 8 and 9, and then an open bracket team. That's supposed to be like a pretty easy pool for your previous winner to win. But the way it has been is like, oh shit, I got Quadrant and Send in my pool. Like, it doesn't make sense. Yes. But now it's evened out a lot. It has
definitely balanced out for sure. A little bit. Absolutely. So I think there's not a huge amount to say other than I would think that there's actually a couple of teams missing from this who are having to play in the open bracket, which is Shopify. Like,
oh yeah, they are.
Shopify is not on here, which I think is
nowhere Justin's team. Now I'm thinking they're not. No, he told me that they are qualified. Is Shopify really not on there?
It's not on there. They're not on there.
I am blown away right now. I don't understand.
Someone is having his mind blown.
How is Shopify?
They're not on there.
I know that they're not, but how? Like, how is Justin's team ahead of Shopify in points?
Did they do better than them at Arlington as well? Status quo?
I guess they might have gotten like around the same, I guess.
I don't think I can see points on this.
Wow.
Here we go.
Sorry, we're having to do live research for you guys because these pools have been very...
Open bracket teams, Shopify Rebellion.
Wow, so Justin's team beat them out for...
So Shopify Rebellion, Native White, Luminosity, Divine Mind, AB Purple, and G1, all open bracket teams.
All open bracket. That's a brawl. I mean, open bracket.
I think that is why it feels so different in pools
because normally you have like G1 and Shopify and Justin's team okay.
And I think that's why it feels that way because we don't even have Native White in there. We don't have Shopify. We don't have
G1. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. This all makes so much more sense.
We're missing players like Ryan, Rain, Mental, Collect, Miquin, Suspector. We're missing, Squally, Posey. We're missing Swish, Huss, Bone. We're missing a lot of gunnies. You know what I mean? From pool play.
I mean, it's not taken away from the players who are in pool play, but it's just you're obviously accustomed to seeing like the fact that Shopify and Native White aren't in it and G1 aren't in pool play, like that just blew my mind. Wow. Okay. I mean, like it's crazy because it's funny. I've known the pools now for a while. Like, it came out and yada yada yada, but like it just never.
I love how we just had that realization.
Well, because like it just never hit me. Like
I know.
I've known it, but
No,
it just
I know.
never hit. Like
I know.
Like I've looked at the pool so many times, but yet I haven't like
Hasn't
been like,
clicked.
yeah, it
Well,
hasn't
because
clicked.
at the end of the day, I think you're only really looking at yourself right
Yeah,
now. I mean,
that's true.
you know, properly, to be
Yeah.
honest. But what that does mean, I think personally, is that open bracket teams coming in to
Are
the
gonna be-
pools
it's
are going to
gonna-
be good.
So in reality, what seems like a really balanced
Pool right now
is actually going to turn
actually
into
later on Saturday
it's gonna,
won't
it's
be.
going to be a bloodbath.
Yes,
basically, is
correct.
you're going to go and you're going to be like, oh shit, like we got Shopify in our pool,
Yeah.
like and it's like freak, like
Damn.
we got to be ready for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, okay, well that makes a little more sense, doesn't it?
A lot more sense.
Yeah.
And I think
G1,
you know,
native
this
white.
is where you're going to see teams
Yeah.
being super, super inconsistent. And that this is the thing with inconsistent teams. They find themselves in these positions often because you're inconsistent. But by you're inconsistent, and the reason why you are a worry is because there are times where you can just turn it on and be really difficult to play against.
Yeah.
And that is a worry, you know, in your pool. That is going to be a worry when they come in. I guess the worry for them specifically is whether or not they're going to do that on the day or not,
Yeah,
or whether they're
whether
going
you
to
turn
flop.
up.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
like that is one of the things that I think a lot of our teams in pool play are going to have to watch out for, is that there are going to be potential upsets in pools from these open bracket teams coming in because they got the gunny.
I
Like
mean,
they're a good team.
This is how I feel about Halo Infinite. I would not be surprised if an open bracket team comes in. You know, I say open bracket team, but those teams in particular.
We saw 2 pools
Yeah.
in Arlington
Yeah.
getting topped by open bracket teams.
Exactly.
2.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if again those guys
that
come through
happens.
open bracket and that kind of gets
Kinda
shaken
happens.
up. Yeah.
I don't see it happening this time because of who's the top, who's the seeds in the pool right now.
Like optic
But I see a
quadrant. You
potential
think-
second being taken for sure.
That's what I mean. I think top 2.
Yeah.
Different format for this event though.
Yes, it is actually a
Yeah,
different format.
Different format.
There is a different format, which I'm actually
We'll
going to
talk
be
about
getting
that
the-
next. We'll talk about that
we'll
next
talk about
one,
it next
maybe.
week. I'm
Yeah.
actually having a meeting about the format
Yeah.
today, so I can give more clarity on that next
Wow.
time we talk.
What an open bracket.
What an open bracket.
That's a
what a pool
brawl.
play day that will be as well.
Yeah.
Because it'll just be interesting because
Yeah.
like it'll have your attention up until that last team comes in too.
That's crazy.
I have a feeling I'm going to be doing some red zoning.
I think so too. I think there's gonna be a lot of crazy matchups. A lot of crazy matchups. That's dope. That's cool.
Which it is very, very
I can't
cool.
believe that didn't click in my brain. I've been all over the place. Normally
So
I'm
have I,
pretty.
babes.
Normally I feel like
So
I'm pretty
have
on
I.
top of it.
We're both very
No,
tired this week.
You know what it is?
What?
It's the events being so close together.
Yeah.
I didn't I tell you the other day? I said yesterday. I said I feel like every day I am like we just started scrimming again, probably like last week, and I said to you, didn't I? I said like I get really tired after
Yeah.
scrims, and I said I feel like every day I'm trying to like regain energy,
Yeah.
to go to play again
play,
at
yeah.
night. I feel like with that, I feel like that's like my brain just being like so trying to be locked into playing.
And
that
also,
you know,
babes, you'll remember like you were also sick.
Yeah,
and
that's
you've
true,
only
too.
really just
gotten over it.
it.
Yeah,
to
that's
be honest.
true.
Like, you know,
Haven't
you're,
coughed this episode
you
yet.
are a sickly child. You know, like when you get sick, you get
I do.
really, really sick.
I do.
Bless you, don't you?
I do.
I know. It's horrible. I
Unfortunately.
hate it. It makes me I feel so helpless. Like I can't do anything.
I saw, you know, it was really nice. People in the comment section, thank you for anyone who does comment. They were, some people were giving suggestions, like make sure try to take this supplement and this and that. I need to go
You're
through
gonna
it
do
again, and I'm going to actually try. Yeah. Cause you know what, I mean, what
Try
does
it.
it
Try it
hurt?
out. Why
What does
not?
it hurt
Yeah.
to, you know,
100%.
I live a healthy lifestyle. Like I'm healthy as can be, but it's just about preventing,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, not getting sick. That's all.
Yeah. We won't comment on this too much, but I do feel like it is pretty, what's the word? It's there right now. It's pretty obvious in our esport niche. And I think, you know, considering we have a podcast and we talk about Halo, I think we should talk the tiniest bit about it, but the tiniest bit. Have you been keeping up with what's been going on with G1?
I have.
What are your, I won't say too much on it just because of my role. I think you can say
Yeah.
a certain amount about it if you want to. You don't have to. I won't say too much. I've been keeping, obviously, my eye on tabs on it. We actually weirdly haven't even discussed it ourselves, even at all.
But that's again to how busy we've been and
Yeah,
tired we've been. We just normally we talk about everything
Yeah.
and everything and anything.
Quite a mess though.
Yeah.
In many different avenues from what I've seen in terms of previous employees, current partners,
Yeah.
past partners. I mean, it's very, very messy, very personal now as well.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty personal.
I find really difficult, and something that I've always found really difficult about social media is airing the personal laundry.
Yeah.
that has been tucked away for so long, and suddenly it's just like an explosion of that.
Yeah. I won't talk about it too much or say too much. I just feel bad. You know, anytime people are being impacted and players are owed money, and I'm sure people are probably owed salary. You know, actually, I know people are owed salary, you know. I just hope they figure it out. I thought G1 has been a really cool org. They've, you know, kind of put their name on the map a little bit, I feel like. Unfortunate to see it happen. I wish the way it has happened, I wish there was more transparency with it. Hope they figure it out. I hope it gets sorted to where all parties can be happy, you know? But, you know, it's always tough with gaming and esports and stuff, because like you're trying to make it goes both ways. And I get it with orgs, but like obviously it's just so difficult where, you know, players and creators and everyone, they're trying to make a living. So it's like, you know, I've always thought this. Okay, let me say this, and this is like not as much about G1 as much as it's about esports in general. I've been really fortunate. I don't mean to brag, but I have to say this to make my point. Yeah. I've been very fortunate where we won some really big tournaments to where, like, if I don't get paid for a tournament right away, like, you know, AKA it takes a bit of time, I'm okay. You know what I mean? We're okay. Like, we don't need to, obviously we're going to get it, but like, you know, there are other people who are maybe just turning pro, and you got bills to pay, and you need to get your salary, and you need to get your prize money because you're trying to make it, you know. And I just always feel bad when stuff like this happens, because people are owed prize money, people are owed salary. And it's like, I always am just like, damn, like, you know, not everyone is in that boat where you don't have that stress of bills, and, you know, so it's tough. It's a tough spot to be. Like I said, I hope they figure it out. Yeah,
it is really difficult. And I think, you know, I understand that in esport organizations, it's really hard to find a balance between getting money, spending money, having to spend money to get money. Yeah. And like, I know it's not as simple as just being able to do certain things, you know, when you want to do them. And I understand that. But it is hard. And I think in the space of G1, your name stands for Gamers First. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of pressure to have your name as Gamers First. That's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of a business, and then to kind of find yourself in a situation now where gamers are not first. Doesn't really seem like they're second, and employees aren't first either. But it's like I said, there's a bit of trouble happening. It's very difficult to find the balance, you know, from things that I've been reading and kind of seeing. And again, you don't know the exact truth, the exact piece to the puzzle, and where it all fits in comparison to what actually is really going on out there, because no one's really going to know. You're going to get many different sides on social media, but I think just making now smart business choices and smart business moves to try to kind of, I think, douse out that fire and make sure that you're trying to fix rather than, I think, push away.
I saw Kenny. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I did see a thing from Kenny, obviously, is their owner, who had said like, this is their full focus. Like, they're not doing any other projects or anything like that. So, you know, I mean, it doesn't really make up for it, but like, hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's leads
mistakes
to
have been learned from.
Yeah, hopefully, exactly. But
yeah, because it takes a few mistakes, I think, to get to this point.
It's a thing in gaming. It's an issue. You know, it's an issue in gaming. It's a sad part of it. I think it's always probably going to be a thing for the most part, you know. I guess franchise leagues kind of solve that somewhat, but at the same time, then you have less of an open ecosystem at the same time.
Yeah.
Just hope it figures out. Hope it gets resolved. Hope everyone gets paid, and we can all just kind of.
I do too. But yeah, I thought, you know, I think it was only right that we talk even just the smallest little bit about it and address it, just because it is, you know, such a prevalent thing that's happening, and it affects a lot of our players that we know, and people that you know,
the Halo players,
content creators that I know really well and I love, and you know, I think it's only right to like even just talk about it and just bring some light to the situation as well. But yeah, it's a definite shame, and I do hope it starts to get better for a lot of people that are involved.
Esports been going through a tough time.
Yeah,
esports, you know, just the economy in general. You know, it's just been a very unfortunate. We're seeing. I mean, even us, we're seeing a lot of our friends lose jobs in organizations and companies running events. And
trust me, I see that. It terrifies me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's scary.
Yeah. I think hopefully it'll all pick up again. You know, in a good way. It'll all pick up again, and people will be headed on the right track. But
I hope so.
It is an unfortunate side of what we got.
It is an unfortunate side, but wishing all of the players on G1 the best of luck going into the major, because I do think that, you know, having all of that to deal with, you know, dealing with a lot of that as well, and original G1 players on that roster who inevitably are, you know, being kind of, you know, just by association, obviously affected by it. Stupid bloody fly. It could be,
it could be a distraction. I remember even like when we were switching orgs, you know, not like it was in a bad way. We just were going from CLG to Optic to then the whole Optic thing. I remember we noticeably played a little bit worse, you know, a little bit. And I just think it's just something about that mental distraction of something going on that you're like kind of worried about, but you're not necessarily thinking about. It's a thing. But yeah, hopefully, obviously, you know, we got Worlds coming up. So hopefully the players can lock in and not, you know, not have that be a factor.
Absolutely. You know? I don't know how much time we have left actually. Let me see. 46 actually, we're at the mark, but I have some really interesting things that we can talk about next week.
Cool.
Including what I think would be cool to talk about is your experience with the last kind of like couple events before Worlds, and like where your mind changes and the shift of mentality changes and how you're feeling about it and the pressure and that kind of thing, you know, with events so basically so soon and one literally right before Worlds, and kind of like how that works and how that's adapted over time. So I think that'll be an interesting conversation that we can have about that. Because I know for me as a broadcaster, it does for me too, which is so strange to say, but
I don't think it's strange.
I feel how significant it is, you know? So I think that'll be a good one to talk about next time as well.
I think
but folks, I know it's short and sweet. We're trying to keep them down to like 40-ish minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, talking through the pools, talking through a couple of teams, the changes, some drama that's been going on, and of course the coffee as well.
I'm excited for pool play now.
Me too, actually. I think this is going to be...
That was a realization moment for me where I'm like, wow, like there are a lot...
You guys just watched us live, basically, realize like actually pool play is going to be kind of nuts,
I've just been out of it. I've been like, you know, I saw it but didn't see it.
Well, my journey with my prep starts now.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's already started, but like the absolute, the deep dives, the constant meetings, the everything.
A week and a half out's about when you start really
going for it. But yeah, so
it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, it is gonna be really, really fun.
Yeah.
So with that, let's talk about the coffee and rate the coffee. What are you gonna give this one? This bag of beans.
Give it a...
What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a 7.3.
7.3?
Yeah, because I did enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's definitely like on the sweeter side. What I was going to say before we talked about it is it reminds me of almost like a dessert kind of. Coffee. Like I would actually like really benefit of having this, like if we're going to watch a movie or something.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel you. A bit of whipped cream on top or something.
I'm like a snack kind of person. I want to like just eat food all the time. So... this would be good for me, like when we're going to watch a movie and I'm going to stay up a little bit. That's what I thought. But yeah, I think 7.3.
I'm going to give it I'm going to give it 7.5, only a couple of points above you.
You're just trying to,
but I agree. I think
it's just, it's fine. All good. Don't worry. It's okay.
Soz.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to go 7.6. You know, no reason. I just think I really like...
You're so stupid. Oh my God. Oh God.
7.5. Go ahead.
I'm going 7 point. You're so funny.
Lock in.
I am locked in.
Get serious.
I'm locked in. I'm going to go 7.5. I'm going to go 7.5. I'm not usually a massive fan of flavored coffees, but I actually thought, like, this is the thing, right? If you're going to have a flavor on a coffee, have a damn flavor on it.
Yeah.
Like, don't make it like half-assed.
Sometimes it can be a bit like
half-assed flavors.
Gimmicky.
This is a flavor.
Yeah.
Right? This is it is like the bag smells just like French toast. It tastes just like French toast. You get a perfect aftertaste of it. It's not like I don't love flavor coffees for the half-assed reason, but that was actually pretty good, and at least it tastes like it says.
I think it's just about where you get it.
I also think it's how you drink it.
Where you get it, how you drink it.
Because we have it iced. I think that hot would be really nice with some whipped cream, a little bit of cinnamon on the top, and like you said, you know, having like a movie dessert type of like, you know, you're about to settle in for a long film. You need a bit of like caffeine just to get you, you know, awake a little bit, and go from. That's kind of the situation I would drink this in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that bag, and Michael, thank you so much for giving that to us and gifting it for the podcast. We appreciate you so much. But yeah,
I needed this yesterday. We watched what's the movie called? Everything Everywhere All at Once. My God, you had to be locked in for that.
Really locked in.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good, but it was nuts, wasn't it?
Well, it has to be really good. It won like 7 Oscars or something. But.
Yeah, and then we went to Wawa, and I somehow channeled my inner like kung fu, and I caught something that
was crazy.
That was nuts.
That was actually crazy.
And I referenced I'm everywhere all at once.
No, you know what really made that for me though?
The guy?
Yeah. So basically we were
I don't know why I'm rolling.
You're rolling away. We're jumping off, but real quick. We were at Wawa. Did I drop it or you dropped it?
You dropped it. No, you dropped it.
I dropped it?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Positive.
Okay. I dropped something and it was literally like so close to hitting the ground, and it and grabbed it.
Like
and
with my hand.
I go, like she goes to me and she's like, whoa. Like, you know, she's like, whoa, did you see that? And I'm like, my jaw's on the floor because of how crazy that catch was. And
there's a guy, across the
aisle. Yeah, across like I was gonna say store. It's not like it's a giant store, but across to the other side of the store, and he just goes, "Nice catch."
He goes, "I saw that."
He goes,
"Nice catch."
Yeah, he goes, I saw that. Nice catch.
And I was like, as a joke, because I'm so embarrassing, I could see he's still watching, and I went, and I could see him laughing. I was like,
yeah, that was a little bit. That was a little bit like, I was like, all right, well, let's go. You know?
I know. I have to. I have to overdo it every time.
We were walking out. I said, we gotta get her home. We gotta go.
I know. I have to overdo it, and I was going, whoa.
The catch spoke for itself.
I know. I just had to. I saw someone notice, and I'm like, I've got to do something dumb. But anyway, but I am Spiderman.
Throwback to the snow globe.
There's been a couple of occasions that I have made some ridiculous.
I will give you credit.
Like saves and moments. Like it is weird.
Lot has only gone into American football recently.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
Go Giants.
Yes. We're winning the East.
We're winning the East.
We're gonna win the East.
Well, we're gonna win the East.
And she, you know, I remember like one of the first times we were watching it, and you said like, the receiver dropped like just on the money pass, and you're like, you just like roasted the receiver, and I was like, you know, like it's a thing, like it happens, you know, and you're like, if you're getting paid, no, like you gotta make that catch, like you're so harsh, and then like I'm not joking, like I've seen you make some catches where I go like, you said, I remember this was before the Target incident. Yeah, no,
you
it
said
was.
To me, you think you can make that one? Yes, I can make it. You touch it, you catch it. That's what I said. That's what we say in lacrosse. And I think you say that in football too. Because I said it to Wes once. Yeah. And Wes went, "How do you know that?" I said, "Because I play lacrosse. It's the same thing." And then so you go, "Do you think you could catch one?" Yeah, absolutely. And then it was like a couple days later.
No, it wasn't. It was not a couple of days later.
When was it?
This is like months later.
No, it wasn't months later.
It was like months later.
It was football season, because that's why we were talking about it. And that's why it was so weird. I promise.
It was football season, but like I think that this happened. It doesn't matter. Go on.
I swear it wasn't. Or maybe it was not.
No.
Because of snow globes.
It was football. No, it was football season. But like the conversation had happened way before.
Had it?
Yeah. 100%.
I don't feel like it had.
It did. It's okay.
I don't know. I don't think I had. Or I'd just been talking shit the whole season.
I think you literally say it every time you see a receiver
because
drop
I don't like it when they drop it. Because it's dumb. We shouldn't be dropping it at
unless
this level.
It's a bad throw. If it's a bad throw and you drop it, fair enough.
This is the thing. I catch bad throws too. So I don't know what to tell you. Can't throw for shit with my arm. My arm is a terrible one, right? It's awful. It is janky.
I actually know you.
With a lacrosse stick in my hand, it's insanely accurate.
Yeah.
But my actual just normal arm.
Some of your throws.
Awful. Some of the things I have done with the dogs.
Me the keys.
No, the keys are fine because there's weight to it. But with the dogs, it is terrible. It is a terrible arm. But catching, I can catch anything. I'm ambidextrous. So I can catch with either hand. And it's lit. Anyway, back to the Target story. I think we told this before on the podcast.
Tell the story before.
But a snow globe He was ruffling.
Sick. No, I was sick.
Okay,
Remember?
Fine. Blame it on the sickness. You were sick. You were ruffling around with snow globes because he likes snow globes.
I started coughing. That's what happened.
You started coughing?
Yeah, I had a snow globe in my hand. I went to cough and I went to put it back.
And you missed.
And I missed it. Yeah.
And again, I was almost semi-turned away, noticed it falling from the side of my eye, and I went, woof, again. Another Spider-Man moment. And I looked at him and I went, oh my God. And he went, Jesus Christ.
I was like, maybe she's got a point on this catching thing. I don't know.
I turned around to see if anyone saw it. And I was does anyone want to celebrate this?
This time, somebody saw it. Because that time,
someone saw it,
except me.
and that's why I wanted to do the Spider-Man thing.
All right,
you never know. Anyway,
thanks for listening and watching.
We're gonna be more keyed in next week, okay? Because I don't know what we're bringing this week, but it's some funky type of vibe. Keyed in. But it's fine.
We were keyed in, except for not knowing the pools. I don't know the pools.
Semi locked in, half lock. Next week will be padlock. Okay. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Goodbye.
We love you so much. Thank you for tuning in as always. And we love you. We'll see you in episode 49. And as always,
stay on the grind. I thought you were going to say it. I was like, wow, that's that kind of episode.